Ladies and gentlemen, let me ask you a simple question. Are you building a business or just doing busy work? Because there's a difference. One leads to wealth, legacy, and transformation. The other leads to frustration, burnout, and stagnation. And the bridge between the two. It's called a $1 million business model serving $1 million market. When it comes to building a business that generates millions, one of the most overlooked truths is this: you cannot create wealth selling to people who are allergic to value. Too many entrepreneurs try to market and sell to bargain hunters, people whose entire buying decision is based on price, not transformation. And here's what you need to know: price. Sensitive people make profit, sensitive businesses. If your ideal client is always asking, how much does it cost? Instead of, how fast can I get results? You're chasing the wrong audience. You're building your dream on people who aren't even invested in themselves, let alone your offer. We're not called to convince people who don't want help. We're called to serve people who are ready for a solution and are willing to invest for change. There is a psychological and financial difference between someone who buys because it's cheap and someone who buys because they want to win. The bargain hunter is operating from scarcity, fear, and hesitation. The buyer is operating from urgency, vision, and faith. You must decide who your business is for. Bargain hunters will always ask for discounts, complain about your pricing, drain your energy, and often never even implement what you offer. Why? Because they weren't committed in the first place. They were trying to minimize risk instead of maximizing results. And that mentality does not lead to transformation. A 20 customer and a 20,000 client will not treat your business, your expertise, or your time the same way. One is investing to check a box. The other is investing to change their life. Selling to buyers is about positioning yourself differently. You don't market yourself as affordable. You market yourself as essential. You don't say, look how cheap this is. You say, look what this will unlock in your life, business, or health. Because buyers are not looking for the cheapest option. They're looking for the clearest path, the fastest route, the most certain transformation. You also have to raise your internal identity to match this shift. You can't sell premium outcomes to premium people with a discount mindset. You have to believe in the value of what you offer so strongly that it would be wrong to underprice it. When you truly understand the problem you solve and the people you serve, you realize that your price isn't expensive. It's a shortcut. It's the bridge between where they are and where they want to be. Here's another truth: people pay attention to what they pay for. If someone pays $10 for a training, they'll forget about it by tomorrow. If someone pays $10, they'll implement it today. The amount people invest is often directly proportional to how seriously they take it. And if your business exists to change lives, then you must price your offer in a way that demands attention, respect, and action. High-level buyers exist in every market. Whether you're in coaching, consulting services, or product-based business, there are always people who are not just able to pay, but eager to pay for the right solution. Your job is not to convince everyone. Your job is to find the people who already want what you have, but haven't yet seen it delivered at the level you provide. They're looking, they're waiting, and they don't need a discount. They need a decision. When you stop chasing bargain hunters and start serving true buyers, your entire business shifts. You move from desperate to discerning, from convincing to attracting, and from surviving to scaling. Because now you're building with people who are as serious about their transformation as you are about delivering it. Ask ChatGPT. Most entrepreneurs are stuck in a trap. They're trying to sell information in a world that's desperate for transformation. The marketplace is already drowning in free content, courses, tutorials, PDFs, and endless YouTube videos. And yet, people are still stuck. Why? Because information isn't the solution. Information is everywhere. Transformation is rare. That's what people truly want. And that's what they'll pay top dollar for. When you sell information, you're competing with Google. You're competing with free. But when you sell transformation, you're offering something no one else can replicate. AA result, an identity shift, and a new reality. That's not something people can download. That's something they experience. People don't pay you to learn. They pay you to change. Think about it this way. If someone wants to lose 50 pounds, they don't actually need more knowledge. They already know they should eat less sugar, move more, and drink water. But they haven't changed. Why? Because knowledge doesn't lead to action. Clarity, accountability, structure, and belief do go. Transformation happens when someone is guided through a proven process that aligns their mind, behavior, and decisions with a new outcome. And that's what your business must deliver if you want to make millions. Too many entrepreneurs are afraid to charge what they're worth because they think they're selling facts. But facts aren't valuable. Results are. The more valuable the transformation you deliver, the more powerful you can price your offer. When someone moves from broke to profitable, from insecure to confident, from chaos to clarity, there's no price that can match the life-changing impact of that shift. Selling transformation also elevates your position in the market. When you're selling just information, you're seen as a teacher or a reporter. But when you sell transformation, you become a trusted advisor, a guide, even a catalyst. You don't just educate, you empower. You don't just teach, you transfer belief. And belief is the most valuable thing you can help someone cultivate. The transformational model requires you to think deeply about what your client is really buying. It's not your framework, your tools, or your steps. It's the Vaza version of themselves that your offer unlocks. It's the freedom, confidence, power, and control they gain on the other side of your program or product. That's what you must market. That's what you must package. And that's what you must deliver with consistency. Most importantly, transformation builds trust. When you help people actually achieve what they've been chasing, whether it's income, freedom, healing, clarity, or peace, they don't just become satisfied customers. They become advocates. They talk about you. They refer others. They come back to Ascend through your next level of service. And that's how your business grows, not just through effort, but through momentum. Your brand, your value, and your income will all rise when you stop selling what people can get anywhere and start delivering what few can actually provide: real, tangible, measurable change. Transformation isn't just more profitable, it's more meaningful. You'll wake up every day knowing you don't just deliver data, you deliver destiny. Most business owners are stuck in a cycle of chasing the next sale. They pour time, energy, and resources into generating leads and closing transactions, one customer at a time. But what they don't realize is that this transactional mindset is the ceiling to their growth. If every month begins at zero, you're not running a business. You're just repeating a hustle. And hustle doesn't scale. If you want to build a business that creates wealth, impact, and freedom, you must stop thinking in terms of single sales and start designing a path of ascension. Ascension is the journey your client takes with you, from their first interaction to their highest level of investment. It's about moving them from where they are to where they want to be, step by step, value by value, transformation by transformation. And most importantly, it's about realizing that the first sale is just the beginning of the relationship, not the end. When you focus only on the transaction, you're aiming for revenue. But when you build an ascension model, you're aiming for a lifetime value. That's a true measure of a scalable business, not how many people buy once, but how many people grow with you over time. Every level of value you provide should open the door to the next level of transformation. That's how you build depth loyalty and predictable profit. This shift begins with how you design your offer stack. You need to create a value ladder where each step solves a deeper or higher level problem. Your entry offer should be so powerful an outcome, driven that people naturally want more. Once someone gets a breakthrough at a foundational level, they'll trust you to guide them to greater levels of clarity, speed, automation, or transformation. Because they've already experienced results, they're more willing to invest again at a higher level. The beauty of ascension is that it rewards excellence. When you over-deliver in your first offer, you don't have to sell the second one nearly as hard. Your results do the selling for you. Clients move up because they want more of the change you've already helped them create. That means less effort in marketing, less stress in acquisition, and more focus on deepening your impact. Ascension also allows you to segment your audience by commitment level. Some clients want to test the waters. Others are ready to go all in. Your model should meet people where they are and invite them higher. Not everyone is ready for your top tier offer on day one, but with the right experience, belief, and proof, many of them will get there. That's why it's critical to build a pathway that makes it easy and obvious for them to ascend. This model is not just more profitable, it's more sustainable. When you build with ascension in mind, you're not constantly reinventing your business, you're refining it. You're optimizing what works and scaling what transforms. You're turning satisfied clients into lifelong clients and customers into advocates. And you're multiplying value at every stage, not just chasing it at the bottom of the ladder. True wealth in business doesn't come from wide, it comes from deep. You don't need thousands of new people every month to hit your goals. You need a small group of the right people who trust you enough to go further, invest more, and experience more with you. Ascension builds relationship, it builds belief, and it builds a business that doesn't rely on volume, it relies on vision. When you stop measuring success by how many people buy once and start measuring it by how far you can take them, that's when your business becomes transformational. One of the biggest reasons businesses struggle to scale is because they're operating in markets that simply don't pay. It's not that the entrepreneur isn't smart, passionate, or hardworking. It's that they're selling solutions to people who don't perceive their problem as urgent, painful, or expensive. And the truth is, people don't pay for small problems. They pay for problems that are costing them something significant: money, time, peace, status, or opportunity. If your business isn't growing, it might not be your product, your marketing, or your message. It might be your market. Big problems attract big dollars. Think about it, people will delay solving small inconveniences for years. But when something is burning, when a relationship is on the line, when a business is losing revenue, when a career is collapsing, or when a person's health is at risk, they'll do whatever it takes to fix it. That urgency fuels action. And where there is urgency, there is investment. The most successful businesses understand this. They don't chase mass attention. They serve a specific, high-stakes problem with clarity and confidence. Choosing the right market starts by identifying who is already investing to solve the kind of problem you address. You don't want to educate the market from scratch. You want to enter a market that already knows it has a problem and is actively spending to solve it. There's a world of difference between people who complain about a situation and people who are committed to change it. Only one group is willing to pay, and your business must be built around that group. This means doing your research. You need to find out not just what people say they want, but what they're actually buying. What books are they reading? What programs are they joining? What tools are they using? What services are they paying for again and again? The patterns are always there. People vote with their wallets. And if your offer can become a faster, clearer, or better version of something they're already purchasing, you position yourself as a premium solution in a proven market. The most profitable markets tend to revolve around a few core human desires: health, wealth, relationships, identity, time, and freedom. These areas touch every life every day. They're emotional, personal, and high stakes. When people feel like they're losing in one of these areas, they'll move heaven and earth to change it. If your business can solve a pressing issue in any of these spaces and you package your solution in a way that feels urgent and powerful, you will never lack demand. What many entrepreneurs get wrong is assuming that their market is broke and can't afford high-ticket offers. But often, it's not that the market lacks money. It's that the problem you're solving doesn't feel valuable enough. It doesn't hit hard enough. It doesn't seem like it will truly move the needle. But when you reposition your offer around solving a bigger problem, one that's blocking income, draining energy, causing stress, or threatening progress, your price becomes secondary. What matters most is, can you help me win? And positioning yourself in a paying market isn't about chasing trends. It's about aligning your gift with problems that have financial consequences. When you help people save or make money, reclaim time, protect their health, or repair something meaningful, they'll happily invest, and not just once, again and again. That's how sustainable business is built. The market you choose is the soil your business grows in. Choose a rich soil. Choose a field where your effort doesn't just survive, it multiplies. Because when you solve big problems, you earn big trust, big transformation, and big returns. Most entrepreneurs start their journey by doing everything themselves. They build the website, write the content, take the sales calls, run the ads, deliver the product or service, manage customer support, and then wonder why they feel stuck. The truth is, as long as your business depends on enabling you to function, you don't own a business. You own a job with extra stress, and no matter how passionate or talented you are, you will eventually hit a wall. The key to building a business that creates freedom and scale is to BAU systems that multiply Ya. A system is anything that produces a consistent result without requiring your constant input. It's not just software or automation. It's process, it's structure, it's repeatability. Systems allow your business to operate with excellence even when you're not present. They allow your value to be delivered without your voice. They allow your revenue to grow without increasing your hours. And most importantly, they allow your vision to expand beyond your personal limitations. The reason most people resist building systems is because they're addicted to control. They believe that no one can do it like them, that automation will make things impersonal, or that delegation will lead to mistakes. But what they don't realize is that every moment spent doing low-value, repeatable work is a moment stolen from high-level strategy, innovation, and leadership. If you're still doing tasks $8 to $1 hour assistant could handle, you're blocking $10,000 hour opportunities. Systems liberate you to operate in your zone of genius while your business delivers consistent value in the background. The highest paid entrepreneurs are not the most talented. They're the most systemized. They've learned how to extract their brilliance into processes that others can follow. They've built automated flows that nurture leads, qualify prospects, close sales, and deliver onboarding without manual effort. They've built service delivery frameworks that allow teams to produce excellent outcomes without guesswork. They don't just work hard, they build machines that work hard for them. A powerful system starts with clarity. You must know exactly what outcome you're producing, who it's for, and the exact steps that get them from problem to solution. Once that's clear, your goal is to document it, streamline it, and delegate or automate it. Every time you do something more than twice, ask, can this be turned into a template, a checklist, a workflow, a video tutorial? If the answer is yes, you're holding the blueprint to a system that could run without you. Technology makes systemization more powerful than ever. Tools like email automation, CRMs, learning platforms, schedulers, and AI can handle entire segments of your business. They can follow up with leads, segment your audience, track your metrics, and deliver personalized experiences without you lifting a finger. But it's not about replacing the human touch. It's about enhancing your reach. It's about being in 100 places at once with the same excellence and consistency you'd give one-on-one. But even more powerful than automation is delegation. Systems are not just for machines. They're for people. The most scalable entrepreneurs build teams that operate within systems. They hire specialists, not generalists. They empower others with clear expectations, SOPs, and feedback loops. They let go of control and embrace collaboration. They don't ask, how can I do more? They ask, who can own this? And that question unlocks freedom. If you want your business to grow, you must stop measuring your worth by how much you do and start measuring it by how well you multiply. You are not the engine of your business. You are the architect. Systems allow you to build something bigger than yourself, something that outlives your energy, something that works even when you rest. The more you systemize, the more your business becomes a platform, not a prison. Most entrepreneurs make the critical mistake of pricing their offers based on time, effort, or deliverables. They ask, how long will this take? Or, what's the industry standard? Instead of asking, what is the evaluator of the result this creates? And because of that, they stay underpaid, overworked, and undervalued. The reality is simple. Time is not the asset. Transformation is. Clients don't pay you for hours, files, or templates. They pay you for outcomes, certainty, speed, and clarity. When you price based on value instead of time, you shift from being an expense to becoming an investment. Time basing creates a mental ceiling. When you charge per hour, you're capping your income at the number of hours you can work. But your potential is not tied to a clock. It's tied to your ability to solve meaningful problems. A solution that saves someone 6 months of trial and error is worth far more than the 6 hours it took you to deliver it. A breakthrough that helps a business add all $100,000 in revenue isn't about the time it took. It's about the result it unlocked. That's what clients are really buying, and that's what you should be charging for. The most successful entrepreneurs and consultants are paid not for how much they do, but for how much they move the needle. They've positioned their offer around the A destination, not the journey. They understand that pricing by value is about understanding the cost of the problem you solve. If you help someone fix a $150,000, $1,000 mistake, the value of that solution is not $500. If you help someone double their income, save their marriage, or regain their health, you're not just delivering a service, you're delivering a life shift. That's priceless. Value-based pricing also allows you to attract more committed clients. When people invest more, they pay attention more. They show up, take action, and take it seriously. They treat your offer with the weight it deserves because the price demanded it. Low ticket buyers tend to be high maintenance, full of doubt, and slow to implement. High ticket clients, on the other hand, tend to be decisive, resourceful, and focused on results. Pricing based on value doesn't just increase revenue. It improves client quality and accelerates impact. As it helps us, shifting to value pricing also transforms your confidence. When you know the worth of what you bring to the table, you stop justifying your price and start standing in it. You stop selling sessions, modules, and hours. And you start selling clarity, relief, momentum, and breakthrough. That confidence becomes magnetic. You begin attracting people who want excellence, not cheapness. People who want transformation, not transactions. And those are the people who drive your business forward. To price based on value, you must first understand the true before and after of your offer. What is life for your client before they work with you? What frustrations, fears, and limitations do they face? Then, what is life after they've experienced your solution? What do they gain in income, time, confidence, relationships, health, or peace of mind? The wider that gap, the more valuable your offer. Your price should reflect that delta, not the time or effort it took to bridge it. This approach requires you to believe in your ability to deliver transformation and to stop hiding behind business. It's easy to justify a low price by saying, well, it only took me an hour. But what you forget is that it took you years to gain the expertise to solve that problem in an hour. Clients aren't paying for your time. They're paying for the years you invested to make the solution that fast and effective. That's worth every dollar. And when you fully embrace that mindset, you'll stop chasing volume and start creating real value at prices that match the power of your impact.